It is so great catching up with my next guest. Hannah Rokala is going to be back in action. Showcase MMA 25 this Saturday. Hannah, how's it going?
It's awesome. Going great.
Good to hear. I know we're during fight week, so things are a little bit hectic. I know you had to get your hair done and everything. Just how are you feeling right now, just a few days away from this big fight?
Honestly, I'm super excited to perform in front of like my family and like my hometown and all my friends and stuff. It's different than when I competed in Amsterdam earlier this month.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that actually. What was that experience like getting to, get a little frequent flyer miles, going down and, getting to compete abroad? It must have been a pretty cool experience for you.
Yeah, it was super awesome. I love traveling. I'm a homebody normally, but when I get to go out there and do something that I love, I love traveling. So it was different fighting 3 days in a row. Like the first fight, I was like, oh, it's been a minute, you know what I mean? And then I went in there and finished the first round. And then after that, I was just kind of like, okay, I get to go fight somebody today. 3 days in a row, that was crazy. So it makes this next fight seem a little bit like I don't really get crowd jitters really, but it makes it like, hey, I did this 3 times earlier this month. Like this is just another fight, you know?
Yeah, it's icing on the cake. Did you know about this fight before those other fights in the Netherlands, or did this come after? When did you find out about the matchup?
Yeah, no, I knew about this a few months ago. So I had a full camp, but Worlds kept changing because I was supposed to be in Germany in December. So I was getting ready for it then, and then it changed. And then this fight came up. Actually, this fight, I said yes to this fight before I decided to do Worlds and before Worlds was like scheduled again. So like my team and I talked and we were like, we're tired of things falling through. We're just going to keep both of them and do both just in case one fell through. And turns out they both worked out. So I get to fight 4 times in less than a month, which is awesome.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you and I were talking off air. I was actually wondering why you hadn't fought. I think it was in 2020 or 2021. You had some injuries. So how nice is it now to be active? Like this is more than I'm sure what you expected.
More than active. Making up for lost time is what I'm calling it. It's awesome. Like after my first fight in Amsterdam, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like myself again. Like I get just fought. Like I feel great. Like this is where I'm meant to be. It's just awesome. It worked out well, like not well that I got injured, but I hurt my shoulder right like as COVID was getting really bad. So not a lot of people were fighting anyways. So I guess I didn't miss out too much there. But then I signed my pro debut actually before my shoulder and then again before I hurt my leg. So I signed my pro debut. I was like 2 weeks into camp like last year. And I tore like a vols, basically my entire hamstring. Was really bad, but that was only a 6-month recovery. So then I was, doing Worlds in December in Germany, but that didn't work out. So now here I am.
Yes, no, it's great to see. How difficult was that time? Because I know just, from knowing your career and just, even on social media, you're someone who likes to be active. You like being in the gym. When you're injured, you can't do a lot of those things. So how challenging was that? And what'd you do to make up for time other than maybe some physio?
Lots of physical therapy. But besides that, oh gosh, I don't know. I read a lot of books.
I bet.
I read a lot of books, watched a lot of videos. It's very it's hard to not be like a little bit depressed when like what you do is go to the gym every day and that's like your outlet for everything. But I got to spend a lot of time with my friends and my family that over the years, like people don't realize as a martial artist, like you're in the gym all the time. We sacrifice not just like our diet and all of that stuff, but like time with friends and family. And so I just was surrounded by like the people that I love the most. And, it worked out well. Everything happens the way it's meant to. So, yeah.
I'm with you there. Let's talk about your opponent here. 5-1 record. What do you know about her? How do you feel like you match up against her here?
Well, I always say this. I'm a really well-rounded martial artist. I make sure my game is on point in all aspects. And I know she's like a judo black belt, something like that. Just from what I've seen, she likes to swing wild. I haven't really seen her use a lot of her judo. I know it's different gi to no gi, but you never know. You always got to be aware of that. Her wild swinging, I've dealt with that so much after having, what is this? This will be my 14th fight after having 13 fights. I can handle that. I use my movement. I counter strike. I can throw my own heavy shots, which I've seen her get hit a few times and it knock her. So we'll see. I know I hit pretty hard. So planning on hitting hard on Saturday.
We mentioned the quick turnaround. What type of camp have you had leading into this fight and who have you mainly had a chance to work with as far as bodies in the gym?
as far as bodies in the gym, I have a lot of smaller guys at UFC gym that I work with that are technical, have all sorts of different backgrounds, including like, wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, all of that. I have Charlie Manor, who just won her spot at the World Games. I think that's in July. So, and she's heavy Muay Thai, doing a lot of Muay Thai also. So training with her, which is awesome because she's a hard hitter and she's got such good technique. She's always been one of my big training partners. Alexa Connors just came back to.
I saw that Invicta Vet. Yeah, that's a nice body to have around, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, me and Alexa have been we've been training for a long time, so she's also my good friend. So it's great to have her back. Let me tell you, the hardest leg kicks I've ever taken were from her. So I'm like ready to go. Just a lot of great people there. I have my coaches, Cody Freeland, Brian Harper, David Close. And then also I added Mark Clem. He's the Muay Thai coach. I've been taking a ton of his classes. So I don't know. I just got a really great team around me, everybody at the gym. So
yeah, everything's firing on all cylinders, which is awesome. And I imagine the cut, I mean, again, following on Instagram, looks like everything's going well. You're always in good shape and make weight.
Yeah. No, I feel great. My weight cut actually, because I had to make 115 every day in Amsterdam, I was already set up as far as like really strict on my diet, like I always am. But it's made this 105 cut a little bit easier because I'm already leaner, like a little bit ahead of the curve from where I normally am. So that's great.
Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Cody Freeland, Brian Harper, and David Close.
And obvious question, why sign the contract if you don't think you're going to win? Obviously, you feel like you're going to win, but how do you see the fight playing out on Saturday?
On Saturday, I don't know. I always imagine so much, and I try and stay ready for everything. It's definitely going to be a finish. I see a finish, and if it's not a finish, then it's going to be a war with a lot of hands. I would like to keep it standing because that's what everyone loves to see, and that's where I think I could put on a really good show. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the hands.
Okay.
Feeling the time. Yep.
Little bit of a teaser there. Not looking past Saturday, but I know, this is an important year for you, like you said, almost like, I don't want to use coming out party because we know how good you are, but just getting that momentum, getting to fight often. What's on the agenda this year? What are some of your short-term goals that you'd like to achieve this year?
Short term, after this fight, take a little vacation, but I'd like to fight and get my pro debut definitely before the end of the year, possibly two. Like two would be awesome. 2 fights before the end of the year, 2 pros. That'd be great. But you never know. I have some big things possibly coming up. I don't know. We'll see. I can't.
In the works? Yeah. Oh, no, of course. Don't want to get anyone in trouble. But things in the works are good, right? And that's kind of what I figured is that after this one, probably getting that pro debut. Because I forget how young you are. Like, even though you had this time off, like you're still relatively young in terms of age, not maybe fight experience. But do you think that's, you've never been in a rush to sort of make that leap, right?
No. My coach has always said, well, Cody Freeland, he always said, he's my head coach. He said, I would like you to get 10. My goal was purple belt in jiu-jitsu, which I got, and 10 fights. And I'm this will be 14, 15 if you count my kickboxing, tons of jiu-jitsu tournaments. Like, I've gotten a ton of experience and I'm ready to go. So, but age-wise, I wish the injuries, it sucks, but everyone gets injuries. I'm still 24. I won't be 25 until the end of this year. And I feel fantastic. So
good.
Yeah, right.
Now, I mentioned it there. This is an atomweight fight, right? And obviously the UFC doesn't have that weight class. It would be great if they did, because there's a lot of women they could fill up that division. But would you, I'm sure the UFC's the goal is 115, sort of your future, you think, in terms of, getting to that big show? Or what are your thoughts on that? I was just curious.
I really don't know. I actually messaged her too, Jean Frey. I know she moved up to 115 and she was 105 for a long time. I think naturally, eventually my body will grow out of it. And I know I could put on the muscle to be like a 115er, but at where I'm at now, 105 is like my true weight class. That's where I'm at. Those 115ers compared to me now are they're huge. That's not weight class yet, but it'd be awesome if the UFC got 105. I mean, it's a division that's super exciting, extremely technical, and there's a large pool of 105ers, females. So, I think they should get it eventually, but
well, if not, there's one championship. Ryzen does one atomweight, and then Invicta does as well, right? So at least there's options for you. It's not like, exactly. All or nothing, right? So I'm sure you're feeling good about that.
Yeah. That's why I'm not worried about it. I love one championship. I love how they represent their athletes and what they stand for, and I would have no issue with fighting with them. I think that would be a great option. Actually, that would be my option right now, and plus Singapore is beautiful. I don't know if they're going to bring it to the US, I heard some rumors about that. I don't know, but yeah, that'd be great.
Now, I know everything's been about fighting this week because you got the fight on Saturday. What about downtime? Getting in any Netflix time, or what have you been up to as far as not training? Getting any? You mentioned reading as well. What are some things you've been up to?
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of reading right now. Like when I'm like weight cutting and when I'm busy, like I just don't get a chance to do a lot of reading. It's a lot easier after training to just lay back and watch Netflix. I watch a lot of I started watching the new season of Outlander. I'm not that picky. I'll try to watch whatever, but I don't know. I'm pretty tired at the end of the night, so I lay in
No,
bed.
you
I'll make
need it. I understand. I'm not even an athlete, and I don't want to read it. And I'd rather just watch TV and let the just take everything in rather than having to
yeah.
focus. Right. So
Trying to hike more since it's getting so beautiful. I love hiking, and I also want to pick rock climbing back up. But that's one of those things where it's like,
wait till
I
after
can
the
do.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah, so my body is so tired. I'm like, I need a break. But hiking is pretty easy. Just easy trails, being out in nature. It's such a gorgeous time of year. So.
Well, I'm Canadian. We hike all the time. I live in Vancouver. Actually, we have a ton of places to hike, so I'm all about it. Let me ask you, just side note, best place to go hiking in South Carolina. Is there like a favorite spot?
Oh, I don't know. Most of it's in North Carolina. Normally I go over the border to like near Asheville and stuff, like Flat Rock, all those places. But near in Greenville, we have like the Swamp Rabbit Trail and Paris Mountain. That's super close. That's where I normally go. And it's really beautiful.
I'll got to check that out if I'm ever in there. Probably won't be, but still good to get to know these things. But we definitely got to check out Showcase MMA 25 coming up here April 23rd. Expectation Sports, you know where to catch it. And if you live in the area, definitely go check out the card too. Hannah, this was awesome. I really appreciate the time. Anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors? Any social media? I'll give you the last word as I interrupted you there. My apologies.
I need lists so I don't forget anybody. The fight doctors for my weight cut always. They do such a good job. They make it easy for me. I mean, it's never easy, but they make it, I imagine, as easy as possible. It's awesome. They're great. They also have CBD products, Delta 8, Delta 9, or whatever products too. So check those out. Those are great. Help me sleep a lot. UFC Gym Greenville, my gym. Gotta rep them. I just got done teaching my little karate kids. They're great. Performance Evolution, that is my strength and conditioning coach, keeping me in awesome shape, ready to beat somebody up. Gosh, who else am I forgetting? Woodcrafters, they build houses. Tailored Homes, they build houses. Woodcrafters also does kitchens. They did my kitchen. They're awesome. Check them out if you're in Greenville, upstate area. And Airmaster, they keep my car and my house smelling amazing.